office bedroom.
Okay. These are mostly your pieces.
That's a self-portrait of Martin. That's a friend,
Oh.
Little Lulu,
Oh.
artist friend. Another one of Martin's. This was actually the cover of my father's sleeping bag. He was in the Pacific during the war.
Wow, W.H. Hoyer.
Yeah, and he was on Guam.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did a contour map of Guam with his patches.
Nice.
And rather than the sleeping bag was old and musty.
And this
That's
here?
one of the mandala pieces. I did mandalas for a new century, actually around 2000, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a little different. That's the same egg tempera that my other paintings are in, but there's no sealer on it.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference between the high gloss and the matte. The problem with the unsealed egg tempera, it's a very sensitive surface. So if somebody had oily fingers or an abrasive surface, it can be damaged.
Yeah.
And I had too many pieces coming back from galleries that were severely damaged. So that's why I sealed the things.
Whoa, this is from Africa too, huh?
Yeah, it's
What is that?
Bowley ram mask.
Wow. And this is another one.
So the newest series. And
Is that artwork up there above?
yeah, that was a, oh gosh, in the mid-'80s a friend gave me a first generation casting of the Venus of Willendorf. And she was also always an important figure for me because she was on page 1 of every art book I ever had. And so I did a whole series using her in various forms that just rotates 360 degrees.
So that's her rotating.
Her rotating. I did one, that's in white gold. I did one in pure gold, and then I did one in lead. That's the only one I have left is the one in white gold. I think that was done in the mid-'90s. But I used her figure in a lot of those shell mandalas that are no longer around.
That's interesting. From it, rotating different, all the way 360 degrees, right? Interesting. Okay. And over here, a couple more pieces over here. Looks like you have some, just the lines there.
Yeah, they're just very simple landscapes, horizons.
Okay, next room. Stop at this. Okay. Okay, so that's a lot of Martins.
2 of Martin's and then 2 Pastille pieces of mine, the graphite and the blue tempera, and then another faulting series in graphite, which came later after the silver ones in white gold and silver.
Okay. So you're basically trying to be prophetic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Did you see it in a dream, maybe, perhaps, or is kind of?
No, I just, impermanence.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we think everything is so stable, and
Right, it's not.
and it's just not. There's constant
Keeps
movement.
changing,
Things are changing.
moving, yeah.
And it's more about that. It's, we don't perceive that movement if it's the
because of our short lives.
because of our short lives.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
nothing is permanent.
Right, good old Buddhist concept.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, out into the hall. Okay. Tell me a little bit about this geometric.
Well, if you look out my window, you'll see all of those geometric shapes.
Okay. Buildings and
The
stuff?
buildings, the houses, the roofs in the looking over the roofs in the Richmond district.
Okay.
And that's basically where where those lines come from. There's that box shape.
And this person?
I found it's a painting by Runyon. I found apparently he had passed away, and a lot of his stuff was in a antique store on Market Street years ago, and I really loved that piece. I've got a couple of other paintings I bought, but because of the symbolism with the pyramids and
Oh, yeah, in the background,
he
the obelisk.
apparently did a lot of portraits of Hollywood people, mostly a portrait painter.
Okay.
So I don't know if that is anybody or just a made-up person, but he looks like it. I call him Imhotep. He was the
Imhotep, yeah.
fellow who designed the pyramids.
And this is your workshop.
And this is my workshop.
Okay. With your latest pieces?
Yeah. Some more African work. I've moved a lot of stuff in here that I wanted to get off the floor when we have the open studio.
And some more of the earth
Some of more of the faulting.
Faulting.
And the
and a beautiful view of the beach.
beach.
Yeah. And you can see the weather before the rest of the weathermen do. Well, thank you, Joel. This has been a great tour. Any last words you want to say about this?
Not really. It's a great place to work, that's all I can say.
And you spend about 8 hours a day here?
Yeah. If I don't have to leave, it's fine with me.
Yeah.